He says that he's designed to kill. He says that he wants to kill her. He says that he has killed people before.
I've never wanted a human's blood so much in my life.
I trust you.
Girl, why? Hi everybody, my name is Robin. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I am so excited to talk to you today. I can't wait to see where we go. Thank you for coming on this journey with me, even though I know that my makeup looks are just they're not it. I have fun doing it, so. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Okay, so today I'm like super excited. Today is going to be interesting because I'm actually going to be reviewing a movie that I had not seen until this. Movie adaptation to the book Twilight. When Twilight came out, I was actually working at a bookstore and they allowed us to take books out for free, like a library, as long as you didn't like ruin them. And everyone was just like ranting and raving about these books, so I decided to read them. And I'll admit, I liked them. I know, but I was, I was of a certain age and I was of a certain disposition. Really identified with Bella, which I think is the whole point, but I never saw the movies. Heard really bad reviews, and so I didn't go see it, and now I've had the pleasure of watching it, and so I get to take you along the ride with me, so buckle up. As with last time, I will be linking my products in the description box, and like last time, I am not sponsored. So the premise of Twilight, if you don't know, is there is a young woman named Bella. I believe she's 16 or 17. She moves to a town called Forks to live with her dad, Charlie. And while she's there, she meets a mysterious young man who is a weirdo. But for whatever reason, she sees the appeal, and he has a secret. And it turns out that that secret is that he's a stalker. I mean, vampire. He also is fully a stalker, but we'll get into that. There's a lot of sort of crossover with the Twilight universe. Essentially the reason why I did this is because I wanted to do 365 days, but I couldn't do 365 days without doing 50 Shades of Grey, and I couldn't do 50 Shades of Grey without doing Twilight. So here we are. So, without further ado, here is Twilight. Bella's mom is doing this sort of, she's going on the road thing. Bella decides to go live with her father, Charlie, for a little bit so that her mom can get a chance to, support her new husband. All right, then. Let us start with the eyes. So I'm going to do something a little weird today. I'm going to try to do a smoky eye, but because I really like clean lines, I'm going to be putting tape on my face. I don't know how else to do this. So you could probably do what the drag queens do. You could do like a little, like a paper, but I would much rather just do the tape and get it over with. Now, the nice thing about this is that it will actually catch a lot of the fallout, so that's good. My right eye is a little more red than usual. I was practicing with some makeup stuff yesterday, and I did not use oil to take off the makeup, and so my beautiful rosacea has come to rear its ugly head. I got my makeup brushes right here. So, Bella is arriving in Forks, and she meets her dad, Charlie, who is a conversational wizard.
Your hair's longer.
Meet Billy Black, played by Gil Birmingham, freaking legend. Jacob, played by a wig-wearing Taylor Lautner. Now, Taylor Lautner is not native, but he is the primary sort of native character in this, which, of course, they got a white guy to play a native person. Not in love with that. There are other characters in this, and a lot of them are played by native people, if not all of them, including Billy Black, but Jacob is not native. The casting of Jacob is something that is a point of contention for me, and I think a lot of people, but, that's something that we will really get into more with the rest of the movies. Oh yes, we're going to be doing all of them. It is said that Jacob goes to school on the res, so she won't have him there to, sort of break the ice because he's the only person that she knows in town. So she shows up and totally gets this subtle sarcasm.
Nice ride.
Thanks.
She meets a bunch of characters whose names we do not need to know.
Hey, I'm Eric.
I'm Mike.
I'm Jessica, by the way.
And they are absolutely enthralled by her. Some crazy how. The reason why none of these characters matter in the grand scheme of things is because this entire story is a lead up for her to meet Edward Cullen. Now the Cullens have this sort of Brady Bunch thing going on where they're all sort of coupled up except for Edward. Apparently the Dr. Cullen, I can't remember his first name. I tried, I really did. I don't remember his name. So Dr. Cullen has a bunch of adopted kids with his wife Esme, but they're all kind of dating. I feel that it's like super weird. It's kind of creepy. Why? But when Bella meets him, he seems to be grossed out by her, if not completely repulsed by her. And she's like not in love with this, but she resolves to, I don't know, confront him or figure out what the hell's going on. But when she comes to school the next day, he's nowhere to be found. And in fact, he's gone for a couple of days. I had to open my door because my cat wouldn't leave me alone. So obviously we're going to do this whole like book movie comparison because that's kind of my whole deal. But I'm going to take a second to I'm going to give this movie a little bit of shit because when you're adapting a movie from a book, you have to remember that you are still making a movie. So like if you're going to introduce a character, have them be important. Like I feel like there's so many side characters that don't need to be in here, and there's so many subplots that do not matter. And if you were trying to be like a book purist and give every single thing and you were going to make it into like a series, fine. But if I see this guy, I'm going to want to know who the hell he is, why he's here, and what he has to do with the overall story. And spoiler alert, nothing. Maybe they'll become more important in the second movie, but from what I remember, no, they won't. So we see an abrupt tonal shift and someone gets attacked by something. Cut to Bella falling on the ice. She's not like other girls. I mean, as a Canadian, and I don't know what to say about this, but maybe you should be wearing boots. It will do. That'll do, pig. So Edward is back, and he seems happy to see her this time. Buckle up, because he's going to take you on emotional mood swings this entire series. I did say I was a mediocre makeup artist, right? Okay. So even though they're in biology class, there's some definite chemistry. Bella almost gets hit by a car, and I remember this moment in the book being like so compelling and so sexy and so cool. And it's just so bland, so like, but, you know, not come into this movie expecting to enjoy it. I expected to be disappointed, and in that sense, the movie did not disappoint. Yes. So Edward comes up and saves her by putting out his hand and fully just stopping the truck. They take Bella to the hospital, which happens more than once in this movie. And, you know, Charlie is there. He's a little concerned. And we meet Dr. Cullen, who more or less tells her that, you know, she's lucky that she didn't get more hurt. And she tells him that Edward saved her life. And so then we see Rosalie and Dr. Cullen fighting with Edward, and Edward kind of storms off. Edward kind of storms off in Bella's direction, and she asks him how he saved her, and he more or less gaslights her. On a field trip, Bella and Edward get to talking again, and he tells her that he thinks it's better that they not be friends. And she falls again. She's not like other girls. Okay, so I quite like this. I might just go, boop. I know you're not really supposed to do that, but that's who I am as a person. And, you know, this is mediocre makeup, not professional makeup. So Edward just keeps playing hot and cold with Bella, and she finally calls him out on it. He says that he never said he didn't want to be her friend, just that he couldn't. So she thinks that's dumb, so she invites him to the beach that everyone's going to on the weekend. But he says, no, I can't, it's too crowded. Is this the crowded beach that Edward was talking about? Because it's deserted. So at the beach, we see Jacob, and it turns out that the beach is on the res. And he tells Bella that the Cullens don't come on the res because of a folk tale that talks about two warring clans. One is the Quileute tribe, and the other is the Cold Ones. Ah, delicious Cold Ones.
Cold Ones.
The cat was driving me crazy, so I closed the door again. So I failed to put my mascara on last time. When I use lashes, I often forget to put on mascara, so I am taking great pains to put it on today. So I hope you all appreciate it. I have a friend named Laura, and they go, a lot. So every time I do it, I think of them, and it makes me happy. Hi, Laura. Learn from soup, know what do. There's no glue on it. Bella starts to get really curious, so she decides to go to a bookstore that is close to where her friends are going to get prom dresses. So this is the most unrealistic part of this movie. Like, I know that there are vampires, I know that we're going to see werewolves at some point, but this woman, she has the emotional range of a typewriter and the personality of a wet mop, and yet everyone just loves her and signs off for everything that she does and says unless it is story driven. And I don't get it. She's rude, she's plain, she's boring. She's not even that pretty. No offense to the actor. Like, the actor is gorgeous, but they make her look sick. She attracts every male in a 10-mile radius. And they all just let her act out of pocket. You are sticking eyelashes, try to do the inside corner first, because the inside corner is the most difficult to make it look natural. Make it look like not like it's sticking out. I love lashes. I love them. I could never get the lash extensions because I know that it would hurt and it would be itchy, but like lashes to put on for an evening, love it. These ones are a little shorter so they fit in my itty bitty eyes without me having to cut them. Love that. So it's suddenly nighttime and Bella gets accosted by some ruffians. Edward shows up in a Porsche and tells her to get in a car in a kissing booth kind of way. And he straight up hits one of them with his car and then drives into oncoming traffic. This is why you listen to someone when they say that they're no good for you. First thing he does when it's time for him to become emotional is he puts her life in danger. People tell you who they are, you need to listen. If I've done this right, the eyelash will line up with the angle of the makeup. This one's good. This one's a little off, but I'll take it. Again, cousins, not sisters, but we're not going for perfection here. So they see Dr. Cullen's car and Charlie's car at some establishment, and they decide to go in and check it out. And Dr. Cullen tells Edward and Bella private information. He tells these two teenagers that one of Charlie's good friends was killed via animal attack. Bella consoles Charlie, and they bond a bit, and he gives her mace? Pepper spray? What is the difference between mace and pepper spray? I don't know, and I'm not going to look it up. Bella has a flash in her mind based on what Jacob has been telling her, based on all of these attacks in town, on what Edward has been showing, and she finally figures out that he is a vampire. You may be seeing my straw in some of the shots. I have terrible dry mouth from medication that I have to take that makes me regulated, but every once in a while you might hear a pop or a click somewhere. I'm aware of it. I am doing my best, but that's where we're at. We're under the impression that she's not really interested in talking to him anymore because she realizes that he's a monster. So what does he do? He immediately follows her into the woods. Way to prove that you're not creepy, my guy. And then there's like the most iconic moment in the book where first he makes her say what he is.
Vampire.
And then he Peter Pans it up the mountain as swiftly as Mary Lou Retton. He shows her his shiny stone scale and she's like, oh, it's beautiful. I disagree. It looks fucking weird. But I remember again, like these moments were very impactful in the book and here it's just so lackluster. Which is ironic because he literally is lustrous. A little olive but that's okay. It's hard to find colors that match me. I often have to like blend them, so we'll see how this turns out. She trips again. She's not like other girls. A little darker, just a tad darker than my skin. So we'll see if I have to... Oh, not too bad. Not bad. Oh, I guess I got some sun this summer. He threatens her again. He says that he's designed to kill. He says that he wants to kill her. He says that he has killed people before.
I've never wanted a human's blood so much in my life.
I trust you.
Girl, why? 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 You just met the guy. He told you he's dangerous. You've seen him be dangerous. You've seen him say, I want to kill you. And you're like, that's fine. Like, okay, I'm going to have a little more color, a little more pigment today than I did last time. He talks to her from the tree like Michael Jackson. What even is this? I do prefer dewy finish more than matte finish, but this one is a little bit darker. And if I start to do contouring, I'm afraid that my face and neck won't match, so we'll see how that. He says that she's his own, like, personal brand of heroine. He paws at her like a cat, which I guess makes sense because he compares himself to a lion. And then they lie in the grass like a Coldplay video. Doing a little more concealer in the under eye because I have not been sleeping very well since 2016. I mean, yes, I'm Canadian, but American politics affects us as well. So he basically tells Bella that they're like vegetarians. They don't feed on humans. He also says that they were all saved by Dr. Cullen. He in particular was saved when he was dying of influenza. It's not the Spanish influenza, it's just influenza. It is rooted in racism and nationalism. Everyone had a different name for it. In the UK and Germany, they called it Flanders flu. Learn your history, people. So in order to make a person into a vampire, you have to bite them or otherwise inject them with vampire venom. Each of the vampires has a special talent, but we only really hear about Alice, who can see the future, and Edward, who can read minds. So they go to the house, and everyone is like super nice except Rosalie.
Let's just keep pretending like this isn't dangerous for all of us.
Who is Esme? She looks like so familiar. Who is she? Oh, I can't quite put my finger on it. Oh my god, it's Shirley Crane! So Alice says that she and Bella are going to be great friends, which, wasn't she not able to see her in the books? Am I wrong about that? Same thing with Jasper. She's like, oh, you're not going to hurt Bella, except he fully does in the next book.
That's a peddling.
So I don't understand. Did they not read the books? I try many different sprays, but this is still the best one. Or the dewy one. The dewy finish is also quite good. Lipstick time. So pressure is mounting on Charlie to figure out what's going on. And of course, we can't have any real action in this movie. So Charlie more or less says, it's the state's problem now. It's now time to play baseball in the rain. They have to play during thunderstorms because otherwise they won't be able to explain away how loud their bats hit the ball. Except it's not raining at all. So now is an interesting time. Again, I haven't tried this look, so I don't really know what lipstick would look good with it. These vampires that we have kind of seen here and there throughout the movie. They show up with this guitar sting. There's this scene in the kissing booth where she tries to put on her makeup and fails miserably. And I somehow am reminded of that in this moment. Yes. So the other vampires say that they led the cops out of town, so we're not going to deal with that at all. If you expected anything to actually happen in these books, it's not going to happen. Their names are James, Victoria, and Laurent. But then the wind catches Bella's musk, and suddenly James is like, I want to eat her. So now they need some kind of exit strategy. They need to get Bella to Phoenix in like a safe house, and they need her to basically tell Charlie that she doesn't want to be there anymore, which again, I don't understand why, but all right. So she's like super harsh. The sexy one shows up. Hey, it's Mr. Terrific. So he shows up and he's like, listen, I don't want anything to do with this, but he's going to keep coming after Bella. So you're going to have to prepare. Alice, Jasper, and Bella go to Phoenix, and everybody else kind of splits up wearing Bella's clothes to try to throw him off the scent. So it doesn't work. And so Bella's mom calls her, and then James grabs the phone and he threatens her. But I can't really focus on that because he is clearly reading off of a script and he sounds like a 10th grader trying to read Shakespeare in his class.
But then Mom came home after she received a very worried call from your dad.
You can still save her.
But you're gonna have to get away from your friends.
About your old ballet studio.
So at the start of the movie, she had said if she was going to die for someone, then it should be for someone that she loves. And we had thought it was for Edward. I totally forgot about it. I didn't even clock it. But I guess it's for her mom, so yay. But like in situations like this, when they're like, don't tell anyone, tell someone, because they're just going to keep trying to extort you. So like you might as well bring the people that are going to help you with you. When she shows up at the ballet studio, her mom's not there. It's just a video. But how did he get the video of the mom? Okay. Remember that pepper spray that she had? She sprays him with it and it does nothing. Sorry. He just keeps attacking her while he's filming so he can give it to Edward. Did I miss something? Are they like rivals or something? What did I miss? So he bites her and then the Cullens show up and they save her life because she's got the venom in her, but Cullen comes and says that Edward has to bite her even though he is standing right there.
Suck the venom out. No, I won't be able to stop. Find the will to stop.
But he has to pull back before killing her, and I guess he manages to do so. So Bella wakes up in the hospital, and Edward says, you need to move to Phoenix, and she tells him to go to hell.
You just can't say stuff like that to me. Ever.
So they go to prom. She's got a broken leg, and she's wearing this dress that is fine by itself, but like the pairing of this dress with the Converse and the tights is just really hideous. Much to Bella's surprise, Jacob shows up at the prom, but he's only there to tell her that his father, Billy, told him to tell her to stop dating Edward. And then Edward shows up and claims his territory. So they're dancing and Bella's like, why didn't you just let the poison take me? Like, why wouldn't you just let me be like you? And he's like, you don't want to be a monster. And she says, yes, I do. I want to be with you. I want to be with you forever. And he's like, I'm not going to end your life. She says, well, I'm already dying, which is like so maudlin. But anyway, she says, I'm ready. Bite me. And he kisses her neck, which I'm not going to lie, that was pretty hot. He says, can you just be happy living a long life with me? And she says, yeah, for now. But she basically tells us that she's not going to back down. She wants to become a vampire. And then we see Victoria looking on at them from above, which, okay, why didn't she just come and attack them? So I'll say a couple things. I liked the book when I read it. I'm not ashamed of that. It was a good read. It was fast read. It was a good popcorn book. But I didn't really see any of the Mormon overtones, and I feel like it's going to come into play a lot more as the movies / books progress. In the books, they said something along the lines of how he doesn't want to have sex with her unless they're married, but I don't know whether that was in the first book or one of the later books. The chemistry between the two main characters, between Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson, is undeniable. The whole rest of the movie is kind of meh, but those two do have some great chemistry, so I will give it props for that. It was a slog, you guys. It was a slog getting through this movie, and from what I understand, this is the best one, so we'll see how the next ones go. How do I look? Do I look vampy enough? Let me know what you think about my final look. And I really appreciate everyone who's been liking and subscribing. Please keep sending it to people that you think might like makeup or books or terrible movies. So I'll be seeing you all in 2 weeks. And in the meantime, have a good one. Bye. Here's a piece of information you don't need to know. I hurt my back trying to prove to my husband yesterday that I could still fit my foot in my mouth like when I was a baby. I was right. Bella and Edward, Robert Pattinson and Caitlin something. Kate Moss? No, not Kate Moss. What's her fucking name? So the chemistry between Christian. It's been a while since I haven't used cream, because cream is just a lot easier to, you know, manage. So we'll see. Ooh! Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what to say. This video is a lot shorter than my last one because nothing happens. So here's some clips from some vampire movies I like.
We present our guest with a plate of biscotti.
But you see, I'm British.
So are these.
White woman staring at you. You sure she white?
And then I will say, why don't you eat some biscotti?